Hi everyone, it's early August 2024 and I wanted to do a live today because cholesterol is in the news again. In the last few days I have seen, pretty much coming out on the same day, two sort of conflicting views regarding cholesterol. Not surprising, one was coming from the more natural health approach, and the second one was coming from a study that was published in the Lancet, which tends to be more drug pharmaceutical approach. So the first study I saw was with regards to cholesterol, why heart health and other things are not just linked to cholesterol, and why there's other approaches and relevant factors for managing our heart health, which are way more important than this singular focus that's always driven down cholesterol. And the second article that's been in a lot of the media is with regards to an updated commission by the Lancet with regards to all the risk factors associated with dementia, commissioned, I think, in part by the Alzheimer's Society. I don't know if that's UK or US. And it's added two other factors to the study since 2020. And one of those is high levels of LDL cholesterol. So we've got two different opposing views here. Now, the one article I read first of all was how important cholesterol is for our overall health. We know cholesterol is important. It is really important for our cell membranes, keeping our cell membranes fluid. And as the article that I read pointed out, 25% of the cholesterol that the body makes itself, and let's not forget that 75% of all the cholesterol in the body is made by the liver, and it's made by the liver because it is a very, very important compound that we need. It's really important for our cell membranes, it's really important for immunity, it's really important for making steroid hormones. And as the article goes on to say, that 25% of the body's cholesterol is consumed and contained in the brain, because it's no surprise that cholesterol plays a crucial role in cognitive function, aiding memory formation and supporting neurological process. The brain, as we know, is a very, very fatty structure. I talk a lot about the importance of essential fats for the brain and how most of the brain is made up of these fats. And this is also adding in that 25% of the cholesterol that's made by the body is taken up by the brain because it's important for cognitive function and aiding memory and other neurological processes. Then we get a study that's looking at a number of other researches that have gone on, this Lancet Commission updated to say that there is new incentive for tackling cholesterol levels, and that high LDL cholesterol has been presented as a risk factor for dementia. And that LDL cholesterol can lead to fatty deposits in the arteries, and this can obstruct blood flow to the brain. Now, the reason I believe for these two different approaches is because the medical profession focus on cholesterol as being the sole cause of the problem with arteries, arteriosclerosis, the furring up of arteries, the narrowing of the arteries, the risk to heart disease, the narrowing of the arteries, and therefore showing that this then leads through into the brain. Whereas there's another school of thought, if you like, by many, many people that shows that the reason why there is a problem with the narrowing of the arteries is not the cholesterol per se, but to do with inflammation and the oxidation of what is going on, and that cholesterol is used to form a plaque for the damaged artery. And the damaged artery is due to a number of factors, but specifically let's focus here on inflammation. The artery gets damaged, whether it's to do with inflammation, and the cholesterol is merely trying to form a plaque and protect that artery. And it's when the plaque, fatty substance, becomes oxidized, becomes hardened, You might get more damage because it's become hardened through the oxidation. That creates more plaque building up because of more cholesterol. Not so much the cholesterol per se, but the underlying risk factors of inflammation. Now, you could say, and I will be skeptical and say that we are being driven by the pharmaceutical industry, and statins are very, very profitable. You need to read around statins. There are very much two schools of thought, and I wouldn't rely so much on Google searches. I tend to use my search engine as something like DuckDuckGo rather than Google. Google's owned by Alphabet. Alphabet's part of the medical industry, so you're going to get more of a biased view of what's coming through on those searches. But you need to read much more widely around cholesterol, statins. Statins, if you start taking statins, can start to deplete your body of coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 is very important for creating energy in muscle cells, can lead to soreness and fatigue and affect the immune system and affect cell growth. So, we need to look much wider. The most important thing we need to focus on, if we're thinking about how do we take care of our arteries, how do we take care of our brain health, is focusing first and foremost on getting rid of those ultra-processed foods, getting rid of those ultra-processed meats, getting rid of sugars, refined foods, sugary drinks, even the artificial sweeteners in drinks and other foods, and let's get back to what nature intended us to eat. Eggs and meats and fish and vegetables and fruits and just natural ingredients, nuts and seeds. Adding the pulses if you're vegan and vegetarian. Keep it simple. If you keep it simple and you've got the right fats and the right fiber, the fish and the oily fish and all of those things, as well as all the other lifestyle factors, then we're going to protect our heart, we're going to protect our arteries, we're going to look after our brain. But I think it's too easy to focus on a study and it's just suddenly going, oh, well, cholesterol is the thing that we need to be careful of. And fantastic for the pharmaceutical industry because it can pump out statins on an even greater scale, cheap to produce, and very, very lucrative. But is that really what we should be focusing on? Yet more drugs that we pump into our bodies? Or should we go back to basics and look at what we're eating first and foremost? So that's my little rant and rave. Hopefully I've given you some informative information. Do your research. I wouldn't use Google. I'd use something like DuckDuckGo. Look into this. Don't just jump on a headline, but you need to delve a lot deeper. Hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching.